Hi everyone, it's Katie Kelly, physiotherapist here, and you're joining me again today for a seated exercise program. Welcome. Today's class is going to be another 20-minute session. Each exercise that we do will be done for about a minute, and we will cycle through a bunch of different exercises until we come to our 20-minute exercise program. In today's session, we do use some little hand towels that I am keeping behind my back in my chair, and that will be to place our feet on. You want to make sure that you choose a chair that's comfortable for you, preferably without any arms, and it should feel like a good height that when you move in it, it feels quite comfortable. We're going to get started straight away with marching on the spot, just as a nice general warm-up. So we're starting off with our easier exercises as a way to kind of gradually build up our heart rate, and then we're looking to get into our target heart rate zone after about the first 5 minutes of our class. And so that's what you should be aiming for. Throughout the session, I will be reminding you to maintain good posture. So no slouching back into your seat. Always adjust yourself so you're up on your sit bones. Don't let your chest round forward. Don't puff your chest out too much. Head position is also important. We don't want to see that you're leading with your chin. A lot of people will lead with their chin and they get this crease in the back of their neck. We don't want that. Get rid of your crease and wrap those shoulder blades around your back so that you're not bringing them forward without realizing it. Send them back. So we're working on our posture throughout this entire session, as well as building up our cardio and working on some muscle exercises as well. We're going to do a knee up and a heel tap, knee up, heel tap, up and tap, up and tap. Just enough that you have to think about the movement a bit and pull your tummy in. So we're really trying to activate our core. And for that, I like to tell people not to think about bringing their belly button into their spine, but to think about taking that area where there's your bladder and pulling that into your spine. So up and tap, knee, heel, knee, heel, knee, heel. You got it. You can always do each of these exercises at your own pace. If you want to speed it up to get your heart rate up faster, you can do that. If you want to slow it down because that seems like a better pace for you, that's fine too. You're welcome to throw on some tunes and then to move to the beat of that song if you like. We've got one more each side and knee. Good. We're going to do cross in the front. So like a little do-si-do action here. So heel goes forward, taps across, back and in, heel crosses. Still sitting tall, so up on your sit bones, please, and maintaining that good posture. Generally, we're looking for the feeling like someone's got a thread that they're pulling up through the top of your head, up, 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 up. So you always have this lifted feeling in this class. And you should be starting to feel like your heart rate's coming up just a little bit now. So we're moving enough that that's what we're kind of looking for. If you're ready, hands together, pressing the palms of your hands together. So you're doing a little bit of work. Heel, cross, heel, in, heel, cross, heel, in, heel, cross, heel, and in, heel, cross, heel, and in, or slow it down if you need to. And in, heel, and cross, and in. Good. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands forward, knee extensions. So I'm just going back to a pointed toe. This is kind of like a little bit of a kick line. So pointed toe, I'm not shifting back. I'm still trying to sit tall. So I have to pull my belly in, and I feel it in my hip flexors as I'm doing this. I'm maintaining some pressure in through my hands so that my chest is actually engaged a bit as well. And my neck is not getting, my chin's not poking. I don't have that neck crease. I'm getting rid of the neck wrinkle in the back. Knee extensions. Almost there. Starting to feel it a bit more. We've got about 10 seconds left of this. Sit tall. Don't slouch. Chest is neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to come up and we're going to lift through the chest a little bit and do a tap forward. So I'm just drawing my shoulders back, but my arms are along for the ride. So this just helps to build those postural muscles in the back while still getting us through our warm-up. I'm still thinking really tall position. I'm not holding my breath. So you can hear, I have to speak to you, obviously. That's a bit of a test for me to see how fatigued I am. So as I get more tired, you'll hear me breathe between words. So that lets me know that I'm reaching my target heart rate when I'm just making it through a sentence, or maybe not even, and needing to take some breaths. So you can always sing or answer me back. You can talk to me and check out how your breath rate is going as well. Okay, we're gonna grab these little towels. Okay, I'm gonna put one down on the floor, and I'm scooting to the front of my chair. I'm doing as much of like a half circle as I can. So I can really feel my outer bum cheek has to work to get back there. A lot of people just do the front and come in. You need to go as far out as you can. This leg is pressing down into the floor. So circle and circle and circle and circle. It's always easier if your hands are down, more difficult if they're here, more difficult if they're here, and even more difficult up here. So you can always choose different positions throughout this. Let's change legs, forward, wrap around, using the outside part of my bum to really complete that circle, around and around and around. You've got this. Choose your hand position as needed, right? You can make this more or less difficult as you need. Okay, let's move that towel just out of the way here. Feet are going to be together. You're going to open your knees, and then you're going to resist the close. Open, so I'm applying resistance. I'm making my work for me. So it's like an inner thigh squeeze, like you're trying to close the knees, and the hands are making that more difficult. So I compress about, 25% of my max. I compress 50% of my max. I can give 100% of my max. Up to you to decide what feels like enough pressure that it feels like these inner thigh muscles are working. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Now, you haven't lost your posture, right? You're still up on your sit bones. Your shoulder blades are still in place. The neck wrinkle in the back of the head is not there, right? Okay, 2 more. Now we're going to go back to that circle exercise that we just did. If it was challenging with the towels, go back to using a towel. If not, lift, and we're going to do this without the towel. Okay, so it's almost like you're mimicking that movement that we did on the ground, but you're going up and around, and I have to squeeze my bum to hold that in place. And remember, hand positions matter. You can make this more difficult. You can engage the core a little bit more by doing different things with your hands. Okay, let's change sides. Around. And you could come down for a little break in between if you wanted, or you can try to maintain. So I'm pulling my tummy in, getting a little bit more core exercise. I'm trying really hard not to wobble this knee. It would be easier if you let the knee come out to kind of counterbalance your movement, but I'm trying really hard to make this about my muscles. Good. This time on our in and out opening, we're going to put our hands on the outside, and we're going to resist opening and then back in. Squeeze to open. I'm not collapsed forward to do this either. You'll note I've hinged at my waist so that my chest is somewhat lifted and my spine is still nice and long. We're going to do about a minute of this. Got 35 seconds to go. And again, you get to choose. Is this 25% of your max? 50% of your max? Is it even more than that? So you'll have to use your arms more if you want this to be more of a workout. And squeeze. And squeeze. You've got this. Don't hold your breath. You shouldn't sound like that. You shouldn't have to hold your breath to do an exercise, not at this level. So I can breathe out on the work. One more, breathe out on the work. Great. Sit nice and tall. Hands are clasped in front of you. You're going to take one arm and send it all the way back. You're going to follow that arm with your head and chest, then back to center, other side. Follow it all the way back. So my shoulder blades are pulled down, my tummy's pulled in, I'm rotating. If your eyeballs help lead the way, we actually find that you can get a little bit further. So eyeballs are engaged, neck, chest. We're getting all of this rotation. Not holding our breath, always coming back in the center and applying a little bit of a press to reset before we do the other side. Press the other side and press and press. Keep going. Press. 5 more seconds. Press. Let's do one more to each side. Meet in the middle. And press. Great. We're going to do a high knee run. So this isn't as heavy as our seated march. It's almost like we're bouncing our feet, our toes off the floor. Like little twinkle toes. I'm trying not to lean back, right? So I'm still sitting up and just moving quickly, quickly, quickly. Great. Plant your feet. We're going to hinge forward and then come up. And we're going to repeat that cycle of the high knee run and this forward hinge. So I'm hinging forward. I'm squeezing my bum now to come back up. So you'll notice my chest, I'm still very straight. I'm kind of like a little seesaw. So I'm hinging forward. I'm not rounding my spine. Hinge, squeeze my bum to come up, and hinge, squeeze, almost like I'm pressing into the floor to come up. Squeeze, press my heels in. Hinge, we're going back to that running again. This time, arms are going up if you can. If that's too difficult, you can do a prayer pose or arms out to your side, but if you can, up you go. High knees up. Tummy's in, shoulder blades are down. They're not coming up towards your ears. You might be feeling a burn in the hip flexors. Keep going, just getting that heart rate up again. This is like your sprint, like a 30-second sprint. Perfect, plant your feet. We're hinging and up. And hinge, if you want to make this more difficult, hands behind the head. Hinge, press. So use the bum and the legs to get you back up. Hinge. Come up, and hinge, come up. You're doing well, another 5 seconds. Hinge, come up, hinge. I think we can fit probably one more in. Hinge, come up. We're gonna do a double seated jack. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. Remember your posture. Remember, we're looking for a neutral chest. We're not a lifted chest. In, out, out, in. You're going at your own pace. If you need to go slower, in, that's fine too. But we're just getting our heart rate up so I can feel like I'm working a little bit harder. I hope you feel like that too. We're more than halfway done this bit. About another 20 seconds. You can do it. Good posture, tummy's in, feeling some burning, heart rate's getting a little higher, breathing's getting a little bit heavier. Out, out, in, out, out, in. 2 more. Last one. Great. Nice posture. Get yourself adjusted in your chair. We're going to lift and open, lift and close. Same leg. And open and close. Make this harder depending on where your arms are. So choose a nice position for you and close. I'm trying to not to turn my whole body, right? I'm trying to keep my stabilizing side nice and strong, and it's this hip that's doing the work. We're going to change sides, open and close, and open and close. Open. Sometimes it can help you to think about pressing the stabilizing side down into the floor. That can help minimize the wobblies that can happen. And it keeps the work focused to that area that we really want to focus on. We're going to switch these out again. We'll do another 30 seconds on each side. Last one over here. When you're ready, so you can change hands positions if you like. Open and close. Press the stabilizing side down into the floor. Otherwise, we tend to see the body follow. So it's lift to open, lift to close, pulling the tummy in, shoulder blades are back. One more, then we're going to change. Other side, open and close, and open and close, and open and close. We're almost there. Press the heel down, keep the core strong. Shoulder blades are down and back, postural muscles are engaged, chin's not too lifted, nose is pointing straight ahead, not lifted in the air. Whoo, 5 more seconds. Let's see if we can get one more rotation in. Good, shake it out. You might want to find one of your hand towels for this. You might not. It depends on if you're on carpet or hardwood floor and what's on your feet. But what you want to do is put your heel out and scrape it in. Push it out, scrape it in. If this feels too easy, you can use the resistance of your shoe or your foot into the floor to make it a little bit more difficult. My shoe is scuffing the floor, and so I'm going to stick with the towel. But you should feel like it's work. So you're trying to curl and bend the knee. You should feel this a bit in the hamstring and the back of the thigh is what we're looking for. And again, you can add some upper body stuff. If you want to put on a pose, some sort of position that you hold, that's fine. It just kind of makes the work a little bit more core and really makes you focus on the muscle that you're working with. Let's change sides. Heel scrapes. So it goes out with no resistance, pull in with resistance. Out and in and out. Pull in. Do with your arms what you will. You can do out and in motions if you want, or you can try to hold a position just to focus the work a bit. And squeeze 30 more seconds. And squeeze. And squeeze. We're getting there. Don't lose your posture. So shoulder blades are pulled back and down. As we fatigue, we'll see them lift up to our ears. We're going to keep them down. I've got your attention for about 20 minutes. We might as well work on our posture building during that time. We're coming into our last round of like 5-minute sequence. All right, you can get rid of that. We're just going to squeeze our bum. So you should grow a couple inches. Squeeze and let go, and squeeze and let go, and squeeze and let go, and squeeze and let go. You're going to press your heels into the floor and just come off the chair like an inch up and down and up. So squeeze to lift, squeeze to lift, squeeze to lift. It's like just the beginning stages of a squat. Squeeze to lift. We're going wide. Squeeze to lift. Squeeze to lift. I don't care what you do with your hands. We're just focusing. Squeeze to lift. Squeeze to lift. Squeeze. If you can, the last 15 seconds are up and down. So up and down. Up and down. If you don't like this, that's fine. Stay in the seated position. You can always just squeeze. You can squeeze and lift a little bit. Last one. Good. Feet together, side to side, like we're doing moguls on the ski hill. So my body's staying nice and straight if I can, and my feet are going side to side. You can slow it down. If that's too much, slow it down, it's fine. Or you can speed it up. Core has to stay nice and tight, maintain good posture. Again, like someone's pulling you up through your head with a string. We're halfway through, 30 more seconds. This will be the last one that gets our heart rate up. Almost through this 20-minute exercise program. You're doing great. Think about your posture. I'm sliding in my chair on this ski hill, I guess. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Okay, let's just do a little bit of a heel tap just to bring our heart rate down. Okay, so you can use your hands for a little bit of support if you want to. You can take some deep breaths in and out. And in and out. This is another time where you could be seeing what your posture is doing. Have you gone back to slouchy? Right? Has that exercise routine been fatiguing? Have you kind of shut off your postural muscles, or you're able to finish strong? So let's slow it down even more. We'll take one more big breath in and out. Let's just take our hands. We're going to lace our fingers together, palms forward, and we're going to push forward. You can round the back a little bit here to try to get a stretch between the shoulder blades. Big breath in and out. Once more, big breath in and out. Empty your lungs when you exhale. If you need to turn in your chair to make some room, you can lace your fingers behind your back and press up through the chest. This is a chest opening exercise or stretch. Might feel it in your forearms as well. Big breath in and out. Great. Soften the arms. Back forward again. You can lean over to one side for a bit of a stretch. So I'm kind of bowing through my rib cage so I can get a little bit of a stretch. If you feel better with a wider base of support, that's okay too. Other side, up and over. You can always do the next stretch in standing, but if you want to stay sitting, hold on to the back of your chair. And we're just going to do a quadricep stretch. If you can't bring your knee to your bum, you can always drop down and hold. I've got a little loop in my sneaker. You can hold that. You can wrap a towel around your leg. But we're looking for a bit of a quad stretch. We worked out those thigh muscles, and so we want to give them a bit of a stretch. It feels nice. If your leg comes forward, you'll miss the stretch, so try to send it back. And we're going to go to the other side. Hold on to the back of the chair for some support. I've scooted a little bit further back in my seat, and I'm letting my leg come over the side, my knee over. Just getting a bit of a stretch here. Stretch, stretch, stretch. It feels really nice after all those thigh exercises. I can feel that my breathing rate has come back down, just about at normal now. And out. Let's do a quick hamstring stretch. So toes out in front, hand on your bent knee on your supporting leg, and I'm hinging forward until I feel a stretch behind the back of my thigh. That's a nice stretch too, isn't it? So really appreciate the stretch, explore into it. It shouldn't feel painful. It shouldn't feel like your leg is shaking to do it. If that's the case, back off a little bit. Let's change sides. Hinge forward. It should feel therapeutic. So you should feel something, but it shouldn't be painful. I'm hoping that your breathing rate and your heart rate have come back down to a normal level for you now, and that you feel like you're recovering. We're going to take one final deep breath in all together. Big breath in, overhead reach, and out. Empty those lungs. Thank you so much for joining me for this session today, and hopefully I will see you in another video soon. Bye-bye.